What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hey, all. Yo, I'm Perry, Hideo, Spurtman, Token Guard, EJ. Not Adam late. Adam slightly later than normal, but my advertised starting time is 9 a.m. And I don't think I've ever started the stream at or after 9 a.m. unless I told you guys I had an appointment or something. So, I think this is fine. The work on weapon graphics. So should I upload Botland today? Hey Pro Sam and hey Noob. Did I play Diablo last night? No, last night I went to. So I wonder if Monadic Mind is going to be here this morning. But last night I went to a talk the Monadic Mind gave on Elm, and it was good. I liked it. I went there, and actually someone recognized me from the talk I gave last week, and he wanted to get in touch with me. And this other guy, actually, I thought this was kind of funny. I sat down. We were in this conference room, and there are lots of tables, and they're all just facing the front of the room. So a guy sits down next to me, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Dan." And I said, "Hi, I'm Adam." He said, "Do you use Angular or do you use React?" And I laughed because I think I said something along the lines of like, "Oh, do you ask this of everyone you meet for the first time?" He's like, "Well, at a JavaScript talk, I do." So I said, "I use React," and then I asked him, "What does he use?" And he said he uses jQuery, and that he wants to switch to React, but he got pulled into like an old project at his job. So, and that's when we were talking. That's when the guy in front of me was like, "Oh, hey, you were at the talk last week, right?" I said, "Yeah," and he said, "If you've got some time after this, can I talk to you?" I said, "Look, any other night I'd love to do this, but tonight my wife and I are having friends over and we're going to look at pictures from her vacation." So I had to leave right after Monadic Vines talk. Hey, Blu-ray King. Anyway, they were both nice guys. I don't think you should like that technology choice may not have been his. Even if it was, it might be working out fine for him. Hey, Live. I don't know if you're. Let me type this out. Yeah. Okay. So should I upload Botland? That's the question. Because yesterday there were about 33 games played. No, I don't think so. Finding an issue in your code affecting every issue ever created? What happened? And where did Token Guard say this? Huh. Hey, Bananic Vine. Morning. I was just talking about you. Even I can't remember. Well, can someone remind somebody about this? Because I am very curious about what this could be. Yeah, no problem, EJ. I just wanted to share what Monatic Vine was doing. Oh, search Bowser information. Oh, that. Oh, yeah, I saw that. By the way, Hideo, thank you for answering my private message on Discord. I haven't gotten a chance to respond to that stuff, but I do appreciate it. Okay, so store an attachment point on weapons. This is where we left off. I don't know if we have outstanding code here. Wait, what? No, I didn't. I didn't live stream anything. Don't worry about it. Fine. I would never do that without permission. EJ's just messing with you. I did talk about that. I went to your talk last night. That it was good. That it was on Elm, but I did not record anything. Yeah. Wait. What? I mean, I would be nervous if I heard that too. Low-hanging fruit memes. Oh, you know what I gotta do? I've got to start up the cosmetics tool. By the way, explosions are showing up. They're just showing up in totally random locations. It's not totally random. It's offset by a whole bunch. So that's unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Fix it? No, I don't think so. Alright, where we leave off here. This was commented out, I see. So that's why explosions are even showing up in the first place. This stuff doesn't matter, this probably doesn't matter, yeah, and this kind of matters. Okay, so we would need to manifest a bunch of these weapon coordinates, but in order for this to work, we need to have them ready in the cosmetics combiner. So use the attachment point, yeah. Is that spider still there? That's a good question, yeah it is. Also, my lights are not on over here. Hey, Banana Man. There we go. Just wait until it has babies. It's been in the same position on the ceiling. Okay, so I think it makes the most sense to store these in cosmetics data.json as well. But then I need them exported from the cosmetics combiner. Otherwise I'll overwrite them every time I import data. Maybe that's just the best idea for this. Although I don't know where I would customize this stuff. We need some way of picking what weapon you could load in. Maybe just pressing W a bunch of times swaps through them all. It's kind of a bad system. Then again, how many weapon graphics do I really have? Like 15? It's not the worst thing in the world. By the way, I haven't been advertising this, but I should be. That I'll be on vacation for most of next week. Channel is blocked from viewing from the UK proxy. Huh. That is it, Pro Sam. Yep. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we have 12 right now. We're going to have another 3, I think? Repair? No, we have repair. We need area repair, we need EMP, and we need... what else? Teleport, maybe? Yeah, so that would put us at 15. That's what I'm going to turn into when I get bin. No stream for a few days? Yeah, no stream for a few days next week. Things have been pretty busy this week, too. I'll probably try to make up for this a little bit by streaming tomorrow. I'm thinking of streaming Hearthstone, and I'm thinking of streaming getting the rest of the golden heroes on Hearthstone. So it's not maybe the most entertaining stream, but at least I'm close to a goal that most people probably don't waste their time trying to get. Oh, you're going to be streaming Hideo? Follow. Done. Look at this. I'm his 5th follower, everybody. You followed Hideo. Hideo, if you streamed, would you stream in English or French? I'll make another file called hardware connection points. So what if I did just put this into cosmetics data? I think the problem with that is that... What loads this? I think Sprite GPacker loads this. Intersperse cosmetics metadata. Yeah, we go through each sprite ID. Okay, yeah, let's test this out. Wow, Hideo's raking in the follows. You got more follows than I did today so far, Hideo. You're not even streaming yet. Literally no French on Twitch. I'm not coding in French either way, so it'd be pointless. Yeah, but you've got a French computer, right? So we don't need the French version of Twitch. Otherwise, English computers can't recognize French pixels. I don't know. That's probably going to be tough, Hideo. Your audience might be limited. Or maybe we can just buy French monitors. Yeah, that'll probably work. Hey, Pawn. How's it going? Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll try doing this the right way. I'll try manifesting. Hey, Bad Hombres. So we're all supposed to follow Hideo. No, you don't need to do that. Oh, and unfollow me. Yeah. Definitely. I'll try manifesting a single weapon's coordinates, and we'll try using those. They'll be outputted to output.json. I already unfollowed. And Barry, no. No. Oh yeah, Pawn, that happens to me all the time still. It's not alright to break people like that. What did I say that made you laugh? Hey, 85 filter. Are you getting your keyword today or on Friday? Friday, okay. Okay, so let's try just adding one of these. We'll say misc/hardware missiles. Oh, I see. Okay, go. Hey, Maxo. More follows in the last minute than I spent configuring OBS. Wow. Okay, so we just need a connection point for these things. JX, JY. I think that's pretty fair. And in front is always going to be true. So we just need this. Now, intersperse cosmetics metadata is the next part we have to do. Where does that even run? This. This. Gonna depend on my work schedule. Can't stream from work, obviously. Well, I followed you. I don't know what the odds of me being able to watch you are. Because I stream and... yeah, I don't know what times you'd be streaming at exactly. Yeah, dessert creation stream. That'd be great. Hey, Ingrid. How's it going? Okay, so let's take this, formatless.json. We'll try calling this code. We are definitely going to try to do things the right way today. I was not planning on doing things the right way. I was planning on doing them the fast way. But not anymore. So we need to open this file. And we should see something on missiles in here. It didn't error, did it? No, it didn't. Do we have a JX and a JY? Oh, we do. 344 and 60. Well, this was simple. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Yeah, we just need someone to modify these, though. But I suppose they could be done manually. Yeah, it's not that difficult, right? So I have to make sure weapon connection points get exported correctly from the cosmetics combiner. Any changes made to those manually. And I think try to come up with a way to modify those weapon connection points. Hey, banana. Second banana. What's the difference between the fast way and the right way? So I'm not sure if you're seriously asking, but for me, so what I was thinking of doing is the right way. Here's the issue that I'm working on, is get weapons to store their connection information. And so the right way to do this would be have the art tool that I wrote produce these and store them alongside the bot coordinates. And I was thinking the fast way would just be manually type up the coordinates in a completely separate file. So I'm going to try to do things the right way. We'll see how this goes. Missed my message earlier? Did I? Oh, can I get pronunciation of the title times 3? 333? I just thought if I made the title Botland Day 333, some people might think, oh, it's his third day on his project. I'll drop by and see what he's up to. And then be blown away that it looks like it's really my 5th day. That'll show them. That's right, Pawn. Weaponized hacking here. Hey, Andorn. 33333 13531. Okay, so that worked So now I just need to have some way of doing this. Hey, noob. Well, let's try to use these. So I'll set this to something that's not this. Oh, I don't know what it should be, but something in the hardware sprite system will set these positions. Muzzle, not that. Is this hardware attached? So 9667 is what's currently being used. So let's just say 9667. Let's go modify this so that hardware missiles are all that's being used. Then let's go load up the cosmetics combiner. So BL tool cosmetics watch, BL tools cosmetics set Dropbox OAuth. Got to do this off screen. I love this process. Okay, so localhost 4000. So when I press W, only the missiles will show up. And whatever they're showing up as now, that's where they always need to show up. That is a fun fact, Blueberry King. That's what I want to know. That's the important date. Nothing good. I was born. Alright, so we got to get this to use the right cosmetics. So instead of randomizing... see, everybody's right. There's another... Man, I shouldn't keep referencing Undertale. But there's a... Let me see if I can find you this picture. No, I can't find it. Anyway, the characters are not just humans. And at one point they make a joke about how a skeleton and a fish are the head of their politics. Well, I have a bunch of fruits who are talking in my chat. Blueberry King, I am a banana. There was Tropical Banana Man earlier. There's Thy Pancake King every once in a while. That's not a fruit. Okay, that was pretty good fun. Okay, so we just need to take a picture of this. Got it. Alright, so this is what it looks like. What we're going to do is swap to the new coordinates. It should look exactly like that, and then we'll completely change them, and it should look very different. Yeah, I know we were kidding. I probably phrased that poorly, but then I went on to clarify the context of that. Hey, Void Dreamer, and hey, Lego Brainiac. How's it going for you guys? And yeah, sometimes that's true, Bad Hombres, but that's on me to not succumb to the distractions in chat. Which I don't think has been working that well lately. But I'm also taking a vacation next week. I think that's going to help refresh me. So these need to be pulled from the cosmetics combiner. Okay. I'm doing well. Yeah. I am trying to figure out how this thing's going to work, though. The Spritesheet Dictionary has this. So the Spritesheet Dictionary has the combination points. And I just so happen to call this... Wait, no, not that. Darn it, where is it? Hardware sprite. Aha. Get sprite sync. So we could say get hardware sprite. Which could just be AWD202. Is Ballland online? No. I have decided not to upload it today. You can usually see that in the today command. Oh yeah, definitely monadic bind. Probably both. Probably by the end of the week. 3 thras, 3 30s. Oh, good. Now you just need to pour Sprite down it, banana. Yep, peak performance. Okay, so, but I just get a Sprite, not the points. I should, where else do I call get Sprite sync? Where is this called from? Artillery shell, zapper, missile. So the projectile, oh, also chips. Projectile graphics, chips. So we could do kind of the same thing. It's just this would take a decently long time to do it. Yeah, I think that's the right way to do this, though. Is that if they ever have connection point information, then that gets returned. It's too bad I call this 26 times. Yeah, it's too bad. Did I get a haircut? No, I didn't. Last haircut I got was like 2.5 weeks ago. Just before my wife left on her vacation. Yeah, where Monetic Vine and I used to work, I used to get Thai food all the time. That was a really good Thai restaurant there. So I should probably change get Sprite sync so that it returns connection information. If none was specified, then I should just use the center. No, I didn't take this vacation with her. Because she was going for more than a week. And I don't think I could really spare that time from Botland. But I'm going to be taking this coming vacation with her. This next one. Which is very soon. I need to make sure callers get changed. And that using the center point won't screw everything up. Well, that involves taking a look through all of these. So let's see. Projectile sprite. At some point we position this. We anchor it at the center. So then its position just becomes the container. There's no offset there. So maybe it's 0, 0 that I want to pass this in with. First on ladder is 90. Oh, on Diablo 2. Wow. And yeah, what does Node 8 provide? This is the second time this has been mentioned today. Nope, nope, no. Don't want to do that. I just want to take a look at it. Change log. I should probably update at some point. The problem is updating isn't as simple as just changing the one on my computer. I also need to go modify an AMI. I don't like that process. Rebel magic mode. You know what that is. Yeah, this stuff seems pretty good, but it doesn't impact me a ton. NPM 5 probably would. Oh, Promisify API has been added. Interesting. Wonder if that's better than Bluebirds. No, it's okay if you guys like someone else's game better than mine. Or if you don't even like Botland, that's okay. I like feedback in those cases about why you don't like it. Enjoy the breakage. What breaks with it? Oh, provides bugs. I'm not going to be upgrading anytime soon. Anyway. Yeah, so in this case, and this is just the first case I happen to be looking at. This is for a projectile. It should be positioned at 0, 0 because it gets anchored at the center. But that's actually... I'd have to think about this. Thanks, WD. There's your Easter egg. Okay, so projectiles are anchored at 0.5, 0.5, so they're positioned at 0, 0. Let's go take a look at the rest of these, because there's a lot like this. This one, for example, doesn't get positioned at all. I guess the caller could just know that they're not going to get positioned anywhere differently. Is there anywhere else that we'd do this? No, I don't think this is necessary. I think a lot of these are just going to be positioned at the center of wherever they are. It may be better to just add an API called get hardware sprite sync that does return coordinates. And if I ever need get sprite sync to do the same thing, then the APIs can converge. So that means that this is going to be almost the same thing. We call it clone sprite, but we need to get the information from this. Let me put a breakpoint here. Maybe we have this information. So somewhere I opened up output.json. Here it is. If we copy paste this over to, I don't know, everything. Let's take a look. So botland, client. And yeah, I haven't used view void dreamer. Otherwise I could help answer this question. I should probably just try it out at some point because so many people ask about it. Okay, so put this here. That. Yeah, I know. There's a blender going on in the background. All right, cool. So let's try this out. So we refresh this page and we press F12 and we press this and we break into here. And now what we should do is we should be able to get, is it the blender bot? Yeah. I don't know what they're blending downstairs. Because yeah, it's unusual to have the blender running today. So where do I get this information from? Compose bot implementation. Here, get sprite data. Aha, fully qualified sprite. So we have get sprite. We don't have get sprite data. Get sprite data sprite ID. Oh, it worked. Whoa. Okay, and we got this. Nice. Okay, I didn't expect that. Well, that is quite convenient. Sometimes some things work, and I never expected. Why am I multiplying something by 2.014? Yeah, that's because that's the difference in the size between the detailed arena tile and the not detailed one. It should just be multiplied by 2. I'm not sure why it's not the case. I'd like to know what you thought was most and least enticing about Elm based on my talk. So monadic bind, I think I was in a bit of a unique position in that I've talked to you specifically about Elm before. So I've heard some of the things that you'd mentioned. But anyway, let me try to think about this. The most enticing thing. I think the most enticing thing would probably be the reliability. Not being able to easily code bugs is pretty great. And I guess part of that is having the compiler help you with stuff. That sounds like the most enticing thing. The least enticing thing, I think, is that it sounds like it's like, I know you mentioned syntax is easy to learn, but to me it sounds like how long would it take me to incorporate it into whatever it is I'm already doing? I think that's where people try to see the value add for themselves. So let's say I was like, oh, that keyboard you're using sucks. You should buy this keyboard. Well, you know what it takes to implement a keyboard into your workflow. You literally just put it on your desk, connect it to your computer, and start typing on it. And for Elm, it's more like, okay, people were asking questions about how does this integrate with this kind of backend? What can I use this with whatever front end library? So I think that's what they probably care about a lot. Otherwise, it's an interesting thing to learn. They might go and try to learn Elm for a bit and work on it for like a side project, but they might not try to use it in a larger capacity. So, longest time trying to fix a bug you've spent? Well, it depends on whether you think this counts. Because in January, I found that sprite offset bug. And then multiple times over the months, I tried fixing it. And it wasn't until like last week that I'd say I fixed it. So this could have taken 4 months if you consider it that way. But if you consider it just to be the times I actually tried fixing it, then I'd measure things in hours and not days. In which case, yeah, sometimes it's taken many work days to fix a bug. And that happens every once in a while. I think there are ways you can try to minimize that, but some things are just tough. Anyway, so we have get sprite sync. We're going to try to make something else here. We're going to do get hardware sprite sync sprite ID. And all we do is this. We say const sprite equals this dot get sprite sync sprite ID. And then we say sprite data equals this dot get sprite data sprite ID. And we return the sprite, the JX, and the JY. Yeah, January 27th. Yeah, and I think it had already been an issue for a week or two at that point. So this picture doesn't even really represent the bug. Landmines were always supposed to look like this, and they still do look like that. Oh, there's the bug. Never mind. It's on the first frame of the GIF. Yeah, this shield is offset. So is it day 3? Yep. Hour 72 of Botland. Starts right now. For anyone new to the stream, no, this is not day 3. So this gets a little bit more data. This gets attachment point. In which case, it's not really exclusive to hardware sprite. It's get sprite and connection point. Get sprite and data, maybe? I don't know. I feel like this should probably be masked from me. Oh god, this stupid meme. Are you still doing Hello World on day 3? I've been doing Hello World at various points throughout development. Alright, see you, WD. Alright, let me think about the best API for this. So if I do add an API like this, then how would callers use this? Well, there's only one place where we need this, and it's here. Yeah, I think this is fine. Is your title a joke? No, it's just a play on, it's a silly play on word. Today is day 333, but I didn't want to just write 333. I didn't want to spell it out. It's just a silly way of saying 333. Maybe it's a marketing tactic, Yingver. Maybe it's to get people to ask about it. Generate hype. Now you'll go to your favorite news outlet and you'll talk to them about Botland. Did you ever think of that? Hey, Tyler. Oh boy. Why did I say anything about that meme? I should have just let it slide right by. No one would have mentioned it again. Alright, so instead of get hardware sprite attach point, because we do this in 2 different places, the hardware sprite's already been obtained there. And we don't have a sprite ID at that point. Oh boy. Talk bait. I feel like it's already played out in my mind. Okay, this throws a little bit of a wrench into our plan, in that we need the sprite ID, which happens to be the qualified path, which we might not have. We just might not. And that means I need to save it somewhere or figure something else out here. So let's take a look. Does this have anything here about where this came from? If anything, it would have a texture, and this texture might have a path on it. Original base texture. Image URL. No, that doesn't work. Yep, that won't work. Hey, Checklaw. Okay, so the issue that I have now is that just having a sprite alone isn't enough to be able to get connection point information. Although, why do I bother doing this? So that I get this... What if I anchored this sprite at... Whoa. That spider. It's doing something up there. Plotting my demise. Hey, Master Hard Rock. How's it going? Yeah, so what I was thinking of is, what if I anchored the hardware sprite at its connection point? That way it could always be positioned at 0, 0. What language is that? This is JavaScript. There are some relevant commands for that. What a persistent bug. I think anchoring it like that would work. We should test this. We should definitely test this. That way I don't need to do this stuff. So we get hardware sprite attach point in 2 places. One for positioning projectiles, which we're not going to need. The other just for this. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. So what if we did things this way? What if I did this? And we scale this here too? Shouldn't matter. Now just hardware sprite, get sprite sync. So we basically get rid of all of that. This is not good. We would only need to do this in this one function though. Hardware sprite X and Y. This thing could just position it for us. So we wouldn't even need a return value. We need the sprite. That could happen though. So if we said const hardware sprite equals this, we got rid of this. We kept the rest of that, I guess. And then this gets moved down to here. All right, well, that's something. That's definitely something. So this would change to hardware sprite name. This entire function would change. So this is hardware sprite name. And we're eventually going to return the hardware sprite. Okay, in the meantime, what we need to do is get its position set correctly, everything else set correctly, so it's anchor point. How will we do this? So this is hardware sprite X and Y. These... I don't know how I'm going to do this. Hardware sprite dot anchor dot set hardware sprite X we need to get these points, probably these. Let's just use this like this right now. Render properties, get the hardware X and Y of that. No, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be really tough. Hardware attach, hardware sprite.scale.x and y. Oh no, yeah, this definitely won't work. Oh, I'm just painting myself into a corner right now. I should try to think of how this will work. Yeah, I should just rewrite this entire function. I wonder if I should revert all of this. Yeah, let's revert it for now. Is all that changed here? Yeah. Okay, we'll try again. Yeah. That's weird. Mouse isn't working. Oh, it's still not working. I can't press the OK button like that. Chaos Queen. Chaos Queen? Chaos Queen, thanks for following. When there aren't capital letters in a word, it's hard to know where one syllable starts and the next one ends. I said that very poorly. My mind is still on this. I think this would work. I think it's a little bit difficult. Let me think about this for a little bit longer. When we anchor something at the halfway point, then setting it to 0, 0 will position it at that halfway point. So we position something at wherever you determine you want this thing held. So at this point we'd say that the anchor is here. And then when we position it at 0, 0, it'll be set correctly. And that way the muzzle coordinate is always this distance. But we need to take the scale into account if we do that. Yeah, okay, in theory this should work. With the hardware sprite. Hardware sprite name, sprite component onto that. So yeah, everything that was in here. This dot why do we even bother doing this part though? Add hardware sprite. Does it include comments? No, it doesn't. For comments, oh, is it count clock? Oh, modules clock? There we go. Yeah, so comments are 17,000 more lines, and blank lines are 11,000. We get where they want their hardware attached. Yeah. Hardware attach X and hardware attach Y. Have you ever done stuff in Unity or a game engine that has parenting? Seems like a lot of stuff you've been dealing with lately would be helpful with that. Yeah, I have, and this has parenting as well, and yet some things are just really obnoxious. So one of the things that was tough here was that Pixie has the concept of containers and then just display objects, and a container itself is a display object, but generally a container has children of these things. So if you have, let's say, a person, so let's say you have a head / torso / foot, and then that person can hold a weapon, then yeah, you'd make the person would be a container, and then head would be just a display object inside that container, same thing torso and foot, and then maybe somewhere off of the torso there'd be a weapon display object. So I guess this thing would also be a container. And then yeah, you could just position the person somewhere and it would position all these things relative to that. So the problem in Botland is that there's some weird effect with it's just changing coordinate systems all the time that I think is difficult for me to do. Because I have a scale set on this whole container. And then the weapon itself needs a different scale. Because the graphics are at different sizes. Alright, welcome back, Token Guard. And hey, Spen. It's going well so far. I've only been online for 46 minutes. Oh, Leve, that's toggle words. So if you look at my Sublime blog post, and this extension exists in some other languages too, it is this. I switched using toggle words. So if you ever see me write something like before and change it to after in a keystroke, that's toggle words. Right to left, true to false, success to failure. It's the same thing. So head, torso, and foot can all be changed between one another really quickly. I wouldn't use render to texture functionality if I was making that. It's expensive and useless. So I use render to texture for preventing needing shaders to colorize bots. And I use it for getting base 64 data. Other than that, I'm not sure I'm really using it for anything else. So we have somewhere here, get sprite sync. Yeah. We need to change this to get everything here. Let's take a look. JX, JY, and then sprite. Sprite, JX, JY. All this would be hardware attach X, and then hardware attach Y. Is get this. There we go. Then we should probably do this. So to colorize bots, it's not necessary that I have render textures. And actually I do have shaders on bots now, but there is a way to turn them off. And I wouldn't want the colors to just disappear in that case. Also, colorizing is something that doesn't need to be done every loop. Yeah, not displaying bots in DOM objects I think would be really tough to do. Because then how would I have something like this rendering here? This would need to be its own WebGL canvas. And it's a game. I need to have graphics in it, even on the menus and stuff. Yeah, it's really cool, Hideo. Hey, Default. I think you said something earlier and I just missed your message. Yeah. Well, anyway, hi. Okay, so these are now pulled from that hardware. So hardware sprite X and hardware sprite Y are going to be the bot attach X, bot attach Y, hardware sprite.scale.x and Y. Yeah, I'd like to not have to take these into account just yet, but it looks like I'm going to have to. So if I take all of this and that, this should work the same way. Already defined. Where is this already defined? Oh, here. I don't care about that. Yeah, so let's try this. This should show in exactly the same place. Hey, Chromium. Basically no difference between colorizing and not colorizing bots each frame. That can't be true, Spurman, because when I have shaders on, everything just grinds to a halt on iPad. And when I turn shaders off, the frame rate improves significantly. And that colorizing is done with a shader. If I could just have shaders on all the time, yeah, totally, I wouldn't have used render textures. There are 40,000 Sublime users using To Do Review? Wow. Yeah, it would be really interesting to advertise through that. All right, so let's press W. This is showing in the wrong spot, but it's not terribly wrong. It's just slightly wrong. So we have to figure out what's going on here. Because none of this should really be that different. Wodleve, how is this coffee limitation strategy working? Remember you recreating a shader for each bot or something along those lines? No, that's not true. I was definitely using the same shader for everything. I had tried the minimum possible implementation of this, and it just was slow on iPad. I remember struggling with that and trying out different things. So it is possible, definitely, that I did something wrong and that I think I did something that I didn't actually do. But from my point of view, there was no way to make it any better on iPad. And I think I even tried their examples. I just loaded up some of their examples, and even their shader examples weren't that great. Okay, so we press this, and we get a couple things. 344 and 60. Where did this come from? 344 and 60. It should be 96 and 67. Okay. I don't understand that. The sprite data here. 344 and 60. Uh-oh. I must have mistyped something. Did this used to say 344 and 60? It did. Okay, then yeah, I just messed up. I messed up this. I didn't ever run this again. So, whoops. There. Now I get output.json, and I put output.json in the right spot. So we just copy this over to cosmetics combiner. There. Then we refresh, and then everything should look right. Yes. Great. Okay. So that was step 1, which was just get this working the same way it already worked. Step 2 is be able to customize these coordinates, which clearly that works. And yeah, I guess that would be all we need. Oh yeah, the anchoring thing. Yeah, Superman, I think if I'd done my own thing, I could have fine-tuned the performance even more. But I still think that would have been more expensive than me just using Pixie and struggling with it. Because I would have needed to design my own version of Pixie. And then any time I spend working on Botland that's not working on my version of Pixie is time that Pixie could be getting better, but my thing wouldn't be because other people are working on Pixie. Okay, so this works. We want to set the anchor point there because what's going to fail is shooting projectiles. All right, take care, Monadic Bind. See you later. Go one step further, make your own browser. And thank you, Monadic Bind. No, but Spurtman, doing that in a performant way is going to be important. And you're right, I do just need a render functional. I would say that's greatly simplifying things. But the concept of containers and children display objects and having transforms get flowing down that way, having shaders and having them be performant, things like, I don't know, just texturing, sprite sheets, loaders. There's a lot that Pixie's giving me. Stream preview. Is this a new thing? How does this work? Can I check this out? Can someone link me to a blog post? Oh, hey Metsudo. Welcome back. That's 2 days in a row. And thanks for the bits. However, over a stream and a preview will show. Huh, that didn't happen to me just now, but I'll have to check that out later. You throw a lot of container usefulness by rendering the textures. So, like I said, Spurman, I'm only rendering the textures in 2 places. 2 render texture places. One is base 64 data, which I still would argue is going to be necessary. Because otherwise, I mean, I know you said just don't render bots to the DOM, but if I want a bot on a certain UI, I either need a WebGL canvas or I need base64 data. Or I do something where I have like the server serve up an image specifically for that, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, so this I still feel is necessary. And point number 2 was colorizing bots, which is because performance on some devices is not great. So using shaders for that doesn't seem like a good idea. Other than that, I am using containers still for example, after bots have been colorized, I still have a container for their head, torso, and foot. But anyway, I'm probably not going to redo Pixie at this point, so I guess this isn't really worth talking about too much. What is this? Oh, yeah, that didn't happen for me. Also interesting. I wonder how long you can watch it in this preview without having an ad show up. Huh. PTTV. Okay, so can I set the anchor point on this? Do I want 100% coverage for unit tests? I mean, ideally, yes, but I think there's too much of a cost to achieve that. Setting an anchor point instead of positioning the hardware spray, and then see if projectiles still fire correctly in game once I have that anchor point. Okay, so this, what if we just set the anchor point here? So we said hardware sprite x divided by hardware sprite dot position dot width, hardware sprite dot width, and same thing here. And then we positioned it at 0, 0. So this should look the same, if I'm not mistaken here. No, that's very far off. I wonder if the anchor point is set just based on pixels, in which case this is actually pretty easy to do. Oh, that totally broke something. What happened there? Width or height out of range? Yeah, what am I missing here? Where else do I set anchors? Anchors are, yeah, percentage. So this has to be the scale before we even get to that point. So we don't even need the attach point. Oh, I think I see. So this would be hardware attach X, hardware attach Y, and then we set the position to the bot's attach points. And then that should work. No, that did not work. Why not? Probably something to do with the scale here. Man, I don't like having to worry about these scales all the time. I wonder if we just multiplied this, if anything, if this would work. I doubt it. I'm just... No. I should be able to set an anchor point though. Although, where is this? 9667. Where's that on here? 9667. So it's this point. This is the anchor point. And on the bot, it's just going to be kind of halfway through this. So it's this that's getting anchored too high up. I wonder what I did wrong. That should be correct, and that should be correct. And we scale it. Yeah, I can't figure this out. This is too low. Okay, so what are those set to? 264 and 305. Oh, I think I see. We need to change this by the bot's scale, which is what? Where is that? I don't even know where it is. Primary display object. Yeah, we have this and what scale.x. So we need to divide by 8 for both of these. I mean, I will eventually do this correctly, but let's try that. No, that doesn't work. This needs to be added to the torso at that point. Oh, man. It's just crazy. Where was the old code that I used for this? I took in hardware X and hardware Y, which are those bot attach points. Yep, seems pretty straightforward. And I never scaled those. Type really quickly and accurately, impressive. Oh, thanks, Bosa. And welcome. Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw what it is I'm working on, but this video is now a little bit old, and normally I'd have the game online. Today I don't because I haven't made any significant changes in the last couple days. At least I haven't finished those changes. But I'm working on a game called Botland, and you make bots, you write their automation, their AI, and then they just sort of attack for you. So I've been working for the last little bit on just getting the weapon graphics to show up correctly. And this has just been so difficult to do. Every time I've made any changes when it comes to rendering, it's been very difficult. It's his third day streaming. It's not my third day streaming. Well, if I don't set an anchor point, then I would need to get everything I did up there already again. So let me try this now. We either do this or we do this. So now everything will look correct, but I'm not using the anchor point. Yeah. It's possible to watch day 1. It's possible to watch part of day 2, but I didn't know. Where is development VODs? There it is. Why did that not? What happens if you look at this in incognito? How many playlists do you see? You should see, yeah, just 3. Okay. Yeah, so you can see part of day 2, and then everything that where there are gaps here, they're just missing forever. We came very close to getting day 8. A guy had uploaded them to his own YouTube, and then his channel was taken down for some terms of service violation or something. I don't know why, but yeah, there goes Botland day 8. I managed to download day 6 and 7 before that, though. And then I think the only gap after that is like day 37 or something is missing. And yeah, part 2 of day 36 is missing. So I don't think anyone will ever go look through these VODs again. I think if anyone's curious, they might click one of these and be like, how did it change from day 72 onward? But no one's gonna watch these. Yeah, and the recap videos. The recap videos are a really good way of seeing how things changed without having to wade through all those 8-hour videos. Yeah, so getting an anchor point just seems... It seems like it should be so simple, though. Like here, we do this minus this times the scale. Attach x times the scale. But if we just set an anchor point to that... We should be able to position this at 0, 0. Yeah, I want to try this again. Just something has to work here. So we get rid of these. And we just say, what is the scale? I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter, I guess. So let's do this. And let's see where this shows up. Hey, Timon. And hey, Burkhazen. Yeah, Twitch doesn't keep those VODs. Also, those probably shouldn't be on the subreddit for that reason. So this is just slightly too far down and to the right, because we know that the proper graphic should look like this. And what we're seeing is... Whoops, I'm trying to show these side by side. Yeah, so what we're seeing is that it's just a bit too far down. And a bit too far to the right. And it's some very small amount, too. What if we did 1 minus this? I don't know why this would work. I just want to see if I somehow inverted this entire calculation. No. No, it's too far up and to the left. Actually, it's not too far up, right? It's probably the same y coordinate that we had. Just too far over. I wonder if that's the whole problem this time. Crazy. It doesn't look exact, but it's really close height-wise. Yeah, and welcome back, Endurn. Yeah, the thing is, theoretically, I guess if I do something like this, so here was the old way of doing something. Let's just substitute in some numbers here. So I said bot attach x equals, let's say, 50. And bot attach y equals 75. And then hardware attach x is 30. This equals 20. And let's say the scale is... I don't know, half. So in the end, what we're doing here, we could just copy paste all this stuff and substitute in some numbers. So 50, 75, 30, 20. So these are going to be equal to 35 and 65. And then we just set those. So what I'm thinking is, if we had set that as the anchor point for this sprite, why can we not just position it at 0, 0? But I guess the problem is that we can't really just set the anchor point. We set the anchor point based on, let's try this. Times hardware sprite.scale.x. The scale x and y are the same, so I'm not going to bother changing that. This might be wrong. Oh, it's actually totally correct. Okay, never mind. Well, that answers that question. Stock market Twitch stream? What is that about? Huh. I didn't realize. I must have been dividing the first time. Maybe that's why it didn't work, because this looks perfect. Alright, well, next up, if we try shooting projectiles from there, it's going to look totally wrong. And that should be a relatively easy fix. So yeah, this is loading at the wrong point. That shouldn't be the case though. Unless I forgot to copy this, which I did. Oh man. Okay, it's slowly coming back to me, what we're doing here. So I do this, and now they should render in the right location. At least missiles should. Lasers are going to be totally wrong. I don't care about that. Aha! So missiles do look correct. And projectiles look like they're firing from the right spot, but I can't really trust that. 50K of his own money and is letting Twitch viewers trade with it on the stock market? Wow. It's real money? How does someone have that much to spend? Wow. That takes a lot of guts. WD. Okay, so what we would do here is instead of getting this stuff about the attach point, we just position this. Like this. So we could just say this is the muzzle X minus the width, muzzle Y minus width, the height. So this won't work because of scaling. I don't know what we need to set the scale to. I think we just multiply by the parent scale, maybe? Parent scale dot X and Y. So let's try this. We're going to make it only fire missiles. So should fire missiles is always going to be set to true. We'll save that. Then we'll go into main. We'll auto log us in as Adam. Immediately edit defense is true. And now when we hit test, I don't see projectiles anywhere. They're like way up there. Okay, so what did I do? What did I do wrong here? This is supposed to be, this is still supposed to be here, I guess. Because projectiles are positioned in the world, not according to another container. So that should work. That's not quite accurate. Yeah, it's too far above this thing. What if we divided by this? No, that's wrong. That's probably going to be, yeah, way on the side. Then there's also hardware sprite.scale.x. Hey, Can. What if we just converted everything back to world coordinates? Man, because this really shouldn't be as complex as it is. I feel like I'm wasting hours on positioning and scaling. And this is something where, yeah, like Monadic Bind said, if I were using a game engine, I would just set this up and I'd be done with it. I wouldn't even need to do anything, actually. I would just say, yeah, position this here. And it would figure out its scaling and everything. I guess the problem is I don't ever know what scale I'm abiding by here. I keep having to undo these things. 3 months. Welcome back. Thanks for the resub, Token Guard. Yeah, game engine for the win. This is one of those cases where a game engine definitely does help, because they'll have worked through all these issues. Now, I'm using a rendering library, and it should be that helps me too, but I'm having such a hard time figuring out these coordinates. So this, for example, this is the bot, this container. And we take its position, and its position will have already been scaled, I guess. Then we add muzzle X and muzzle Y times the parent scale. We need to get wherever that weapon is, though. That's the issue. That's the part we don't have. So we really want the hardware sprite. Oh, so let's do that. And the muzzle needs to be multiplied by that as well. So this might be too far to the bottom right. But the sprite position on that's probably going to be 0, 0, so these will all show up at the top. Or just somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. And a matter tape. So now there's just, I'm not sure. Coat your tongue in asbestos. Have you ever worn that blue shirt on stream? This one? Yeah. I think I've gotten very few new shirts over the last couple of years. So you've probably seen most of what I will wear on stream already. But I like this color blue. I think it's very nice. Yeah, and these need to be... I know this is a super way of writing all this math out. Oh, that. Take that position plus the hardware sprite. I don't know if this needs to be scaled though. This is where, yeah, I should just debug this. Because what we're seeing right now is that everything is too far to the left and too far down where it needs to be. Oh, everything's too far to the right and too far down, apparently. Oh, so that doesn't make sense. Hi, Mika. $640, okay. Hardware sprite is 218. That is not right. This should be multiplied by the scale of this thing. That's probably where get bounds comes in, right? Hardware sprite.get bound. Or get local bounds maybe? I don't know. Oh yeah, get local bounds. How intense is this function? If the sprite has no children, we can do a fast local bounds check. Yeah, this isn't bad at all. Maybe this is what I should have been using this whole time. Am I using JavaScript because it runs on every OS and only requires a browser? Yeah, basically. The biggest reason why is so that people could just go to the website, which is not online right now, and just start playing. If I used a game engine, they'd have to download something, they'd have to wait extra time. The whole all of Botland right now is about 4 megabytes to download, and that'll definitely rise. But it's nice to just go to a website and start playing a game. So that way we can try to get as many people as possible. Hey, Mr. Salmon, welcome back. Excuse me. Huh. So if we do get the local bounds of this thing, hardware sprite dot get local bounds. Thanks, Mr. Salmon. So this is negative 96, negative 67. And that's of some hardware that's on here. No, I'm debugging this page, which those lasers may actually be at the wrong spots. Is there any way to find out what this is? I guess there is. We know, we have the hardware sprite component, this, and this had missiles. And so missiles are somehow up and left of where they need to be. I guess that's possible. They could be left a little bit. I don't know. It's just weird. Weird. Well, maybe we can figure out a way to use that. But I think what we'll need to do here is multiply this by hardware sprite.scale.x. It's a browser game like Neuron Ball? I don't know about Neuron Ball, but for right now it's a browser game. It'll eventually also probably be an app. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. Okay, so this is still failing. We need to see what these things are set to. So yeah, 640 plus 218 times 2. I think we need to divide here. I don't know. And then what's the muzzle X and Y? Those were hard-coded. And the last part of that's definitely correct. Yeah, but this doesn't work. I'm not sure. 768 plus about 111 plus 184. This doesn't really take the anchor into account. I think that's the issue. And I think that's why those local bounds are helpful. We probably should be using this. Just plus local bounds.x. Yeah, I'm standing up right now. I'm standing so I'm not just static all day. Is this better? It's definitely better. I don't think it's great yet, because these are firing like an entire tile off. Hardware sprite. These need to be multiplied by the scale then, right? What if we just said these were 0, 0? Oh, I already did this here. Still super weird. Why do I use Bing? Okay. I'm not going to figure this out. I think I need to come up with a system that's much better than this so that I don't run into these problems. But I'm just not sure how to do that. Projectiles, like, it should be so simple to just say, where is this particular sprite? And I guess get bounds is what does that. Yeah, it's probably get bounds. Hardware sprite.get bounds. Yeah. So I suppose the problem with getting bounds on this is that it's not at all fast. Skip update. But this would simplify everything if I could just use bounds. This has been my only hesitation though, is that I'm pretty sure it's slow. But if I were to use this, then these would change to be pretty simple, I think. These would be just bounds.x plus the muzzle x minus that. Yeah, that's it. And this might even look correct. Oh, did they finally fix this? They finally fixed the pressing up thing. Wow. That's pretty good. Oh, so now everything just works totally fine? Except for this. It's so frustrating. So what, this should be math.abs parent, that scale? And now does this work? Because maybe I can just profile this and we can figure out what's happening exactly. That's not correct because it's firing as though the missiles are coming out of the right side of this, but they're coming out of the left side. But other than that, these are lined up correctly. Unfortunately, it's going to take more than that to fix this. Okay, let's try something else then. If parent scale.x is less than 0, then we'll break in. Oh yeah, there's going to be an explosion there. I just got rid of them for now because they were distracting. I'll put it back in once I've figured all this stuff out. So what do the bounds of this thing end up being? This is of the hardware sprite. And we need to know that this is negative so that we subtract. Yeah, I gotta come up with a better way to do this. Hey, you safe? Thanks. I can do this, but I run into the same problem that I keep running into. I need to know that the parent bot is facing left in order to position the projectile correctly. Why don't you make a destroy robot when it has, for example, 50% of life? I'm not totally sure what you're asking, Mr. Salamak, but this life bar is just like a life bar in almost any other game. Your bot dies when it hits 0 life, not when it hits 50%. The reason why they're taking so long to die is because I multiplied their life values by 100, I think. So if I set them back to normal, no, I multiplied them by 10. If I set them back to normal, then they would die 10 times faster, and this would look more like a real game. So here you can see they take a few missiles and then they're dead. These take a few shots and then they're dead. These are dying out. That shield just broke. And there, that's the end of the game. So yeah, I was just doing this for testing. Oh, self-destruct. Better spend $50,000, LeVay. So projectiles aren't children of... But projectiles just need to figure out the coordinates of the weapon muzzle and set themselves there. And these are the world coordinates. So the reason this is so tough is because when we invert the weapon, we need to change how we do this calculation. Is there any way that we can have a calculation work such that it's obscured from us? That way they don't have to know about inversion. Change the look of the robots when his life's going to 50%. Look. Oh, I see what you're saying, Mr. Salamak. No, that would require a lot of additional graphics, or just something. I mean, like this bot looks like a beaten up cardboard box. So it'd be hard to tell the difference between this and it being at full life or no life. The other thing is that I don't think you'll have too much time to realize that that's even happening, because in the real game, like I said, bots will die pretty quickly. And at that point, there's so much going on that seeing those graphics, it would be obscured. There will also be explosions, so you'll tell when something's taking damage. Yeah, so how would I do this? Because I think getting this to work is doable. It's obnoxious. I need to know the parent scale sign. And then I need to multiply this differently. And then maybe it works. I don't use either, Salamak. I use Node.js. That did not work. What did I do wrong here? Should always be correct. Oh, maybe I don't know what I did. What did I do? Why are no projectiles showing up anymore? And how did two bots stack on top of each other there? Not a number. Oh, whoops. Parent scale X. There we go. That's why. How many of you click a YouTube video when you see it in Twitch chat? This is now off by a bunch. What if, how would I do this? Yeah, I think this is going to be really difficult. I wonder how this would happen in another game, though. Yeah, I guess here's how I would do this. I would position the projectile as though the bot is facing right, no matter what. Then the scale would come into play, and it would get positioned differently, which I guess just means making more extensive use of get local bounds. It'd be really nice if I could figure out how I'm supposed to do this. Alternatively, I go back to the old way of doing things. I write a bunch of extra code around it. Then things would work. They'd just be super ugly. Hey, Mitchell. Alright, see ya. Yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to do this in Pixie. Well, maybe that's what we're going to investigate today. Hey, Mario. Because otherwise, I'm just not making progress on this stuff, and it should not have been difficult to do this. And hey, Mr. Jin. Still trying to think about this. Because right now, what do I have? I have a bot entity, which has its own container. Then I have the composed bot, which is its own container. Let's take a look at that for a second. Yeah, that returns this. Then the sprite injector says, it calls composed bot. Where is that? And I thought we made another container around that. I don't know if that's true. New sprite component, then render properties, then add that. Yeah. Or maybe I do this here? Nope, I don't do it here either. Wow, weird. I don't know. And bot sprite is that. Yeah, so there's composed bot container. This can have a negative scale when inverted. And then there's hardware, which goes here, so hardware sprite. Because this should get flipped. This requires the parent's negative scale so that this gets flipped too. Maybe you should take a break. Hey, Totoro. Yeah, I think taking a break from this sort of thing definitely helps. The problem is that this is the last thing I need to do before the tutorial. And I haven't designed the tutorial yet. And this would need to happen at some point. So I want to make as much progress as I can. No, it's not that bad, Totoro. Then I just position things based on this, right? So I have the bounds of this sprite. I guess I could know that the parent is inverted and then just do something different based on that. Because this, for example, how does this work right now? Yeah, these are coming from the right coordinates. It's when it's flipped left that it's wrong. $46.12. Because we're going to end up adding that. So this is too far to the left. Maybe, well, maybe we don't do that. But then this will be only slightly closer, I think. Yeah, so we just need to subtract 46, which is what we were doing here. Oh, no, we're doing 2 times that. This should just be times 0 or something. So now it'll look wrong when it's shooting facing right, but it'll look correct when it's facing left. And even that'll just be a coincidence. Yeah. Oh, more importantly, this is the difference between, okay, I see. Oh, yeah, this is really tough. What kind of back-end frameworks and libraries do you use? So I think a lot of these ES primary, ES Prima, ES Code Gen, that's for the user-defined code stuff. There's Lodash for utilities. There's a lot of other little things here, like code for coroutines, but there's not a ton of this. And for game servers, we have, or for account servers, yeah, Restify for REST APIs, Connects for the database. an adaptive tooltip that would react to polar coordinates to avoid collision? Why did you need to use polar coordinates? It shouldn't. You could just use Cartesian coordinates for something like that. Though maybe you had a particular use case there. So muzzle axe should be relative to the weapon graphic. Oh, to place it around an icon, I see. Yeah. The problem is we're not doing this correctly, huh? That's X. Hey, Eruptor. Yeah, I remember you. How's it going? Magmacade. When facing right, we do just want muzzle X. When facing left, we want something very close to 0. I think that's why this is so difficult. Nice, Magmacade. What are you using to make games? Do you have this online, Totoro? So I could just take a look at it. Oh, Unity. Yeah, Unity's good. I wonder if we should just always represent this point on a bot. Projectile container dot position dot x equals bounds dot x of the hardware sprite. Yeah, I want to know where this is. Ah, that's old stuff. Gotcha. So primary display object. Let's add in a very helpful thing here. Go, and the bounds that we want here, const bounds equals hardware sprite dot get bound. Can I turn the ball line servers on? Not for today, I'm not going to do that. It was on yesterday, and only about 33 games have been played. But if you want to take a look at what's changed, Magmacade, you can take a look at Recap 31. This is everything at the beginning of the year. And then Recap 32 is everything from the last month. So those are really helpful because that covers everything of 2017 in about 8 minutes. I know it's not the same as playing the game, but it's as good as I can really do for right now. So bounds.x, bounds.y, bounds.width, bounds.height. And then we just set these things up. But this will be world coordinates. This will actually just be totally wrong. We need to add this to the container or to the stage that we have. Let's try that. Let's do arena.stage.addChild. This will look really weird. Block container. Yeah, so now it's super laggy. Oh, there we go. So what's happening is we're seeing the bounds for the hardware graphics. And for lasers, it's just very clearly wrong. I wonder why. For missiles, it looks like it's working fine. Maybe it's a little bit too large. This one looks perfect. But yeah, for lasers, for some reason, it's just in the wrong spot. Ah, I see. Oh, wait, no, the lasers aren't even wrong. It's just that they had moved. Okay, yeah, no, so this is perfect. Great. And then when it's inverted, we just need to figure that out and figure out where X and Y ends up. So where do we get the parent scale. We don't ever do this. Let's just have everything face left. That'd probably be easier. Alright, see you, Magmacade. Thanks for dropping in again. So they're all facing left. Great. Yeah, next stream will be on Friday. And then after that, it won't be till the next Friday. So we want to put a breakpoint. I'm doing get bounds right here. VML. I don't know what this is. Vector markup language. I should maybe just have one bot. I don't know how to have it take out a weapon though, but that way I could know exactly where this thing is. Not token guard. So this is 654, 276. I just need to know what bot this is. So we should probably only have this render for a single bot somewhere. Let's do that, because otherwise it's going to be just impossible. We'll put these much closer. That way there's hopefully no movement whatsoever. And when we hit the test button here, we care about this bot. Where is that? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, is it dead? No, it's 12. And then down 5, 6. So 12, 6. So if this is the entity we're adding it on, yeah. Hey Puka, how's it going? If physics component.tile x equals 12 and physics component.tile y equals 6, then we'll break in here. And this will hopefully be this particular bot. So we'll look at its cosmetics and see that it should be default, default, default. Whoops. Are you early? I don't think you're that early, actually. I'm almost 2 hours into the stream. I just don't think I'm doing anything interesting enough to attract viewers today. Because it's been the same work as the last 2 days. I'm even frustrated with it at this point. Okay, so this is correct. Now we figure out where this is all located. 777, 407. A gradient would actually be pretty helpful here. And we could do this. There's some way to do this. Pixie.js. Because if we can get a gradient, we can know where its x and y is. I thought there was a way to use a gradient. Huh. Maybe not. Yeah, weird. This is... yeah, I don't see it here. Wonder if there's a way to do it. x gradient. Huh. Well, they never use this because all the colors that they have here are just constant throughout. They have the same for the border as they have on all the different areas of it. And I thought there was a way to do this. I wonder if I should just check on their GitHub if they allow for gradients there. No, it doesn't show anything, huh? No. Alright, well that's fine. Yeah, you can do it with canvas. I wasn't sure if you could do it with this. But I guess then we'll change this a little bit. So we'll just draw another rectangle at the beginning of this. So we'll do this. So we'll have bright red at this point. There. So now what we'll see is, it's better work. There we go. We should see bright red at the beginning of this box. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, I forgot a 0. What was that doing then? FF000. That'd be the same as OX OFF000. Which if it was close to pink, I don't know. That's strange. Because this shouldn't change anything. I guess it is more obvious. Yeah, so this shows us that the X and Y is exactly, it's always on the left. So at that point, the muzzle is located at 0. At the other point, it's located on the width. And that's problematic because that means that we need to do something different based on whether it's facing left or right. I guess we also have local bounds for this. And I also have this such that this can be just broken in here. Let's take a look at the local bounds. The game seems pretty complicated. Puko, you've been here for like a million streams. Is this the first time you're watching the game? Because I think it's fair feedback, and I think that one of the things I want to do here is, oh, where did these bounds go? I want to add in a tutorial, and that's going to happen starting 2 weeks from now. You still don't understand the game? What don't you understand? Have you tried playing it? Oh, tried to play it once. Okay. And did you watch that Botland video? Because I think the concept is very straightforward. I think when it comes to actually playing the game, yeah, there's some stuff that needs to be taught. I wonder what the local bounds are then. Maybe these are local. Let's draw a rectangle around that too. And let's change this. We'll also draw this for the local bounds. Because I want to see how this works. So these will be blue, I guess. And this will be cyan. And that way we'll draw the same sort of rectangle that we had already. We can just make these LUTs. And do the same thing down here. Local bounds. And that's fine, but then instead of adding it to this, we add it to the primary display object. Primary display object add child, which hopefully we have access to. Yes. Okay. Let me just get rid of this. Cool. So what we'll have here is we have that pink rectangle already. Now we'll add a cyan rectangle somewhere, and I want to figure out how this even looks and works. Yeah, so the cyan one is up here. I think it's very tough to figure out what's going on there. Huh. Man, sneezing a lot today. Yeah, so what's weird to me about this is that I don't know why this is sized this way. The relative boundaries seem to be such that this is just a scaled version of this rectangle. I'll leave that. I don't know if that's true. I suppose we could figure that out pretty easily though by just copy pasting this over to here and then keeping the same aspect ratio and resizing it. And if it fits this other rectangle, then great. There's no way in Paint to do that, is there? Okay, let's use paint.net for that then. Oops. There we go. So we paste this and we try expanding it. What this will tell us is whether this is just a zoomed in version. Nope, it's not. Yeah, it's larger. So then what are local bounds even representing here? Local bounds x, y, width, and height. And I think these are even negative. Huh. Or, no, let's look at scale, but man, it's not the primary display object, it'll be from the right. There's just gotta be a way to do this. I'll look at the documentation and we'll try to figure out what local bounds are supposed to represent. Width is 186 here. Here it's 46.5. There's exactly 4. And that probably has to do with the scale of this thing. Hardware sprite.scale.x. And then hardware sprite.parent.scale.x. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Puka, do you wear glasses? It could be that your headphones are pressing against your glasses. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure then. Oh, 8 hours a day? Yeah, that could be it. Or you're playing music too loudly or something? I wanted a more generic solution for this. I gotta figure out what local bounds is supposed to represent. get local bounds. Where is it? Local bounds of the display object is a rectangle. Huh. Doesn't really help me. Yeah, there's skip update here. I wonder if that would help me for the camera that I have. Is object visible? There's get bounds. And the first thing could be skip update. I should test this out. So if I don't pass in true there, and I run this, I want to profile this as well. Because I didn't realize we even had this. So we get rid of this. We get rid of pretty much this entire thing. Yeah. 10 to 20% for everything. Doesn't mean it's not still too loud, but yeah, I don't know. Puka, you should probably go to a doctor about that. So let's profile this. Control E to capture a new recording. There, so 13 seconds. How much of this is consumed by get bounds? Oh, they disable debugger statements while you're checking things in the profiler. That's nice. Yeah, so what I think about here is I'm very deep into this problem right now, and this sort of thing has happened a lot in the last couple of months, and in a week or two I will have figured out a solution for this, maybe even today. So it's not the end of the world, but I am a little bummed out right now. Yeah, IDD. I don't know what's going on here, that this isn't continuing. Maybe it's because of this that's broken in. But is there a way to just stop this from working? Oh, there it goes. Whoa, that's new. That's pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, wow. That's impressive. I don't even know how to use this thing anymore. It should just be an easy way of seeing this. I guess it's this. So rendering takes forever. I wonder what get bounds is in this. Get bounds 11.8%. Okay, so let's try this. We are going to change the camera to do get bounds true, and we're going to see if this is still 11.8%. Let's also remove that debugger statement, which should have no impact on this whatsoever. Oh, that's nice, IDD. If only it worked for me. Hey, good idea, Co. Alright, so we run another profiler. What is this doing? Clear this. I don't need any of this. I just want to see if this is about 12% still or not. So first of all, yeah, it looks like this is working. And then we run this and this. So I let it go till 13 seconds last time. The amount of time doesn't really matter. It's the percentage of the overall time that get bounds is taking. So let's see. There, done. I don't expect this to take as long. I think it was that it was broken in last time. Yeah, that was hardly any time at all. Get bounds is now 7.6%. So it is less. It's still kind of a lot. I could just get rid of bounds altogether and just check to see what tile something's on. But whatever, that's a small performance boost. Skipping an update, which means this could be slightly out of date. But that should be fine. See if an object is visible. Yeah. I should probably just check that in too. Yeah, so I'm not totally sure what to do right now about the rest of this. I don't know what the local bounds represent for... Oh, I got rid of them, didn't I? So we'll put this back to how it was. So there's that cyan box that'll show up here. And I don't know what that is. It's the local bounds of the hardware sprite. The hardware sprite being this thing of missiles. So we just look at this in paint. The bounds of the missiles are this pink box here. This is local bounds of that same sprite. I just don't understand why it looks like that. Of all things. Doesn't correspond to that same rectangle. It being scaled makes sense because of where I added this thing. Like if I put this in... Let's try this. Let's put this inside of the bots container. So git component, pixie container component. What is going on here? I can't navigate to this C over here. Weird. Huh, well, I figured it out. Okay, so then what if we added this here? This may look different. I'm not sure how it'll look different. Oh yes, that is very different. And now it makes sense what this is doing. That's the entire hardware graphic that we have. So what I was doing is I was scaling it by a lot. The part I don't understand still is why did this not scale down? Let's try this out. What was that navigation to a letter? That was easy motion. So if I have something like this, and I want to go to the second, I want to go to this particular character L, I can type control semicolon L, and then D is that one. So now I'm there. And so what I was doing this for in code is I wanted to go to this capital C, and for some reason it wasn't working correctly, but now it's fine. I think what happened is I typed lowercase c. No, it still works that way. Yeah, I don't know. Something weird happened there. But it's working now. I hate to lose. So, this. I want to see. Is this rectangle just a scaled version of the pink rectangle? So we take this, and we copy paste it to here, and then we scale this down by keeping the aspect ratio. So it's not. It's still slightly different. I don't understand that. What if we just added the hardware sprite again to that rectangle? Hey, Ankocha. So if I did this, add container hardware sprite, or another version of the hardware sprite. Man, this is crazy. Just crazy. Hardware sprite is here. And it's gotten from this. So we need the name. but we're going to try this out. I'll put this up here. Okay, cool. So here's what this is going to do. This is going to try, in that giant cyan box, going to try rendering the missiles graphic. I think this should work. It did. It's just offset by a lot. It's because, I know why. We need to say test sprite dot position dot x equals rect x, or local bounds dot x. Maybe something like this. That is a big gun. Okay, well, that makes sense. So then local bounds are... I should write this down. Do I have anything about bounds here? Get bounds returns a rectangle that takes into account every parent container's transform. Get local bounds returns something for just that sprite, which doesn't even take into effect, or doesn't take into account the scale at all. Doesn't take any transforms. Actually, it definitely takes transforms into account. That can't be the case that it wouldn't do that. Hardware sprite here. No, it's been scaled. Yeah. Parent transforms to account. So how is it negative then? Let's just look at the code for this. Display. Why is it not working? Display object. Get local bounds. Okay, so get the transform. And there's a parent ref for some reason. Oh, so we can restore it at the end. Oh, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. So what happens is we set the parent to null and then just call get bounds as though we don't have a parent. And then we restore the parent at the end. This seems very hacky. I would have thought the cat had cheered it up. So it should take its own scale into account. The way it's coded as of now is that it temporarily unsets nulls out the parent, then calls get bounds, then restores the parent at the end. The thing I don't understand is why does it not seem to take into account the scale of itself? Update transform. What does it even do? Probably looked at this function a bunch of times. There won't be a parent. What is this temp display object parent? I don't understand. It's null by default. Then it's set to a new display object. Interesting. Hey, Bognar. I don't know where that is. I don't believe you. So this is just an empty display object. Yeah, chat is quiet. Also, view counts have still just steadily been dropping. I think that has a lot to do with why chat's been quiet. Please promote my motherland. Then restores the parent at the end. In the time that the parent is null, I believe it uses a new display object. As a parent, excuse me. Yeah, but where does it do this? Update transform does this somehow? It's not parent.transform. It's so weird. Ah, there we go. That's this transform though. New one called get bounds on that. Oh, and I see how that works too. Okay. And then we call it calculate bounds if the bounds ID is different. And what does update transform do again? This is going to do nothing. Multiply alphas. Bounds.update ID is going to change though. I don't know where this comes from. Does this inherit from anything? Event emitter, that's it. So where does calculate bounds? Oh, each display object probably has to override this itself. And it's set to nothing, I guess. Kind of strange. Yeah, the rest of this is all fine. Yeah, Clappy's cute. He uses a new display object as a parent so that, yeah. So I don't even think this takes scale into account though. I don't understand how that's the case. What happens if we scaled this and then tried, how do we even do this? I don't know. There's get bounds. Where's get local bounds? Here. So hardware sprite.scale.set to 10. And then I'm not going to set it back to anything. I'll set it back to 1 or 0.125 or something. I don't think this has any impact. No, it doesn't. That part doesn't make sense though. No, for some reason, get local bounds. No, Bosa, you should be totally fine chatting. I don't mind if you don't want to chat or if you want to lurk. But if you're worried about distracting me, that's something that I as a streamer have to deal with. So yeah, feel free. Chat it up. For some reason, get local bounds doesn't seem to even take the scale into account. Yeah, so I don't know how get local bounds would ever be used. Like, how is this helpful? I wonder if Pixie even uses it. Not that they'd necessarily have a reason to. They use it in a couple of places, but really not too much. Yeah. I think it's so that you can get properties of the texture. Right, instead of the... Oh, I still don't have a battle plan here. Very tough. Hey, young coach has to get the use out of his $5. Hey, Sir Rackley. I can make that face in real life. Well, did this help me at all? Do I know what to do at this point? I guess I have this thing rendering as well. So local coordinates do nothing for me. I think that's what I've realized. Because the width and height is gigantic and won't really matter. It's working properly. As get local bounds is supposed to return the bounds of the objects as if it had no transform applied. Oh yeah, that's probably working fine. I was just wondering if I could use this at all to help me out. I don't know if I can. Because the issue that I was running into here was that when a bot is facing left, so you can see here, this is darker. This is the XY coordinate. It's right here. But this is facing left. So my weapon offset of, go over this far and then go down this far is going to be wrong. Because we need to invert the go over that far. So that it's from this edge. So we're going to go over this far. Which is just width minus whatever the X coordinate was that I wanted. The problem is I have to know that this thing was inverted. Which could involve checking the scale of like a bunch of different things. There's just got to be a better way of doing this. Would it even help me if I knew that this was located here? I guess yes, because then I could just add the same coordinate I was already going to add. So confusing. Don't I have a way of checking that? Like, is it inverted or something? Well, what I could do is call... Actually, wait, I'm not sure if I can even do this. Let me take a look. I wonder if I can check to see if this has a negative width. Bounds.width. Nope. But the hardware sprite's parent should have... It probably doesn't have a parent yet, does it? No, it does. Scale.x is negative. I don't know this is negative. Use your sub just for that smile. Is there any other way to do this? Yeah, I think I just had to inspect each parent to figure out if this thing is negative or not. I don't understand if there's some other way to do this. With constructor, no. I don't see it. I also don't know why this list is so gigantic. I guess because of all the inheritance of theirs. Yeah, this is from container. What does calculate bounds do? It's probably just needed to set the bounds. Weird. That's null anyway. I don't know. Local transform. This is a matrix though. I'm assuming transform is... No, transform has a bunch of different things. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. I don't think this helps me though. Yeah, so short of just checking every parent to figure out if this thing is reversed, I don't know how else I would do this. Well, okay. Here's what I could do. Despite all of this, I could just invert the x coordinate if I notice the parent has a negative scale. Alright, I am going to go use the bathroom really fast. I'll be right back. Alright, hey. I think Jan Kocho was closest. Alright, so let's take a look at this solution. So then we'll get rid of the parts here that I had added. Actually, it doesn't really matter whether I get rid of them or not, but I might as well. And then one more thing. So this won't be done at all. We'll just say this. If parent scale sign, not even this, whatever, we'll just say this. If parent scale x is less than 0, then muzzle x equals hardware sprite dot width minus muzzle x. And that's it. Now everything works. No, not quite. I probably messed this part up. What is the width of this thing? Oh, we probably need to scale it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if width takes scale into account. No. So we would do this up here. Mowing, mow day, mower. Can't you override update transform, which takes the parent transform as a parameter? I could probably do something like that. I need to figure out how all this is supposed to work. So right now I'm pretty much just lost, and I'm trying to figure out how to even hackily do this. This part's unusual. Width minus this. It's gonna be like halfway through this thing. And then we scale it down. This should be 0 though. What? Where did this number come from? 147. I don't even know. I think it's a laser graphic? No, what? Where is this? Oh, never mind. It's already been set up here. That's why. No, I understand. The part I don't understand is this. This is 184. Take a look at this again. Yeah, it's there. So the width of this thing should not be 331. I don't know how it got to be 331, but I think we need to divide by the scale. Width divided by hardware sprite dot scale dot x. There we go. Okay, there, I found it. Hardware scale dot x, and that's a divided by sign, right? Yeah, finally. And now everything should just look good. So missiles are coming out of the right part of the weapon. The only other thing we need to do is horiz flip changes back to what it used to be. It's working. It's just so complex. Yeah, so now missiles are coming out of the right side here, and they're coming out of the right side here. And actually, the lasers probably also sort of look like they're moving correctly. Not entirely. And we could test that a little bit more by doing this and making lasers fire as well. Yeah. Oh, that took a long time. That took a really long time. And this is it's just bad code. It's just going to be so confusing to ever have to work with this again. So put in some code comments. I think what makes me feel uneasy about this is that this is probably a sign I could code this better, but I can't figure out how to make this better or make this more generic. And what I'm worried most about is that if in the future I want to reuse this system, it's going to be nearly impossible. I'm going to need to do a bunch of custom stuff just like I did here. So much to this. Well, alright, if we take all of this and we get rid of the comments that I needlessly added here. I actually kind of like that spacing that I had. I'm going to keep that. Let's get rid of the rest of this, though. We don't need... Oh, we do need bounds. Uh-oh. So we should say false here, I guess. And even that we only need because... I need to know where that hardware sprite is in the world. Okay. Well, this function isn't that long. It's just still confusing. We use the parent scale for everything. Yeah, for everything. Into with the muzzle coordinate as well. Great, and then I guess we get rid of all of this. Oh, there we go. Hey, much mouth. So we anchor this such that the muzzle, anchor the weapon onto the bot at its attach point so that the muzzle coordinates can be relative to the bounds of the hardware spray later. I think Adam is dead. I feel dead right now. I feel like this is just potentially a whole lot of bad decisions. But it's working. Let's take a look one more time at this. So here's where we can do this. Check this out. See how the laser is firing with weird coordinates? That shouldn't happen, and we can fix that. So we take a look at this coordinate, which is 9667, like something thereabouts. I don't know, somewhere around here is where I expect the weapon to come out. So we say 9667. The way that this would work is we just modify this now. 96, wait, what? It's already those coordinates? It is. Oh, those are the only coordinates I'd set. For here, it should be something like this, maybe. I don't know what. 9545. I don't know. This is going to probably look messed up. Then we just output these graphics again. So right now we have the missiles graphic showing here. It's not bad, but it's not the best yet. So then we go into this code. And we also run the cosmetics combiner again. And there. Now lasers and missiles should show up correctly. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure exactly how this should be attached. The missile launcher is a little bit lower than the lasers. Well, I don't know, does this look good or bad? Doesn't really matter. Okay, let's try adding in all the rest of these. So we got to load up the core graphics that we had. Images, input. Oh, before I do this and have these coordinates all change in the end later, I'm going to need to go download the cut graphics. Lower the lasers a bit. I should have it show, I mean, these could be on any kind of torso here. So on this, for example, yeah, lowering the lasers might be a good idea. Or lowering the hardware attach point, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to move all these things. So let me find out where these graphics are. Weapons. When was this made? April 30th. Yeah, these are probably the correct ones then. So if I just put these over here, can we diff these? I think you can diff images. Yeah, there's a diff. Okay, so then let's diff these two. We should see the white space is going to be a little bit different. Oh no. Are these like radically different sizes? Oh god, this is going to be super frustrating. Alright, well, gonna work with this new system. Everything's broken. Yeah, so we got to copy all these images over to here. Well, let's start that process. So artillery, done. Next, concussion missiles. Where are concussion missiles? Oh, we don't even... Oh, I don't even have concussion missiles in the game yet. Oh, that's a new graphic. Neat. Hey, Wraithy. Okay, well, let's just copy over concussion missiles then. I like it. I haven't seen these. Concussion missiles. Okay, deployed mine. Oh, this actually looks different than what we had before, too. Huh. There's a lot of stuff that's different. Diff later. How does this work? Oh, cool. Yeah, so dimensions-wise, these are pretty much the same. So I think that's fine. However, we don't have friendly mine. I guess I'm going to have to go make that. Hang on a second, I just screwed something up. Is the hardware artwork final? Laser one looks weird. If you take the missile launcher, it looks like it can be attached anywhere and works. Laser has a trigger, means a bot should have an arm and finger. Yeah, I think that's well explained. And I think this is final too. I think it'll look okay. I think it'll just be part of the art style. But we'll see. We'll see how it looks once everything's in the game. And hey, Mutated Nation. I'm doing well. How about you? So deployed mine. This needs to be called enemy mine. And then we need to open this up in GIMP so that we can change the... Why is GIMP not showing this list? Paint 3D is there. Can't even find GIMP in this list. There it is. Yeah, so we'll change the color of this. Yeah, Paint.net could probably do it too. So we want everything that's even slightly red. We'll change the threshold of this. Nah, this is going to be messed up. There's a way to select by color. That kind of works. Yeah, that kind of works. And then we just change this to green. Oh, there's still some red pixels there. Is that good? That's probably good. Yeah. What color green did I use before? Just green, doesn't really matter. Darn it, what did I just do? I'm trying to change this. No! What happened? Everything was set to be totally fine, and that... Uh-oh. That's colorized. I wanted hue saturation. Now it's just not working. I don't know what I did. I must have unchecked preview. Maybe that was all I did. Alright, so that's pretty good. Leave the artwork to others. Don't tell me what to do. This is primo Adam art. So we'll say this is friendly mine. Cool. I think that looks good. Come on, these are like Christmas cookies right here. Next is repair. So we copy that, we delete that, we move this over to there. Then Inferno laser. I also apparently copied laser over somehow. I don't know how I even did that. Where did lasers go? Why can I not find it? Huh. Yeah, weird. Oh, because laser.png already existed. Got it. Deadly Christmas cookies. Alright, Inferno Zapper is next. This is mostly just copy pasting stuff, but keeping the right names. I still can't copy this over. I need to do this here. And then, darn it. This is just laser.png. Then this is melee collapsed. Apparently there's a melee extended then, and I just don't have that. There's going to be some custom code for that then. Yeah, I gotta talk to Jason. Get whatever the extended version is of melee collapsed. Yeah, I didn't even realize there'd be another graphic for that. Mine layer. I'm not gonna do that. I definitely can't make that graphic myself. So missiles. Why can I not? Oh, weird. Little Windows glitch right there. Then stunning lasers. Vampiric lasers. I got stunning lasers there again. And finally Zapper. Yeah, that took a long time. Hey Spidey, how's it going? So now that I have all these, this is going to be totally wrong because the connection points are going to change on everything. So we need to open these up and figure out the right things now. So open with GIMP. I don't know where that opened here. So we're going to pick a connection point of that. 291, 166, something like that. 291, 166. That was roughly multiplying by 4, so let's just multiply these by 4 as well. Let's just hope that's correct. Oh, hey, here's where these things are. Let's just X out of this. Do you have an ETA for the lasers one? I mean the projectile, not the weapon. Yeah, I gotta ask about that. The projectile weapons. How fast do you think you are when you use this keyboard compared to a normal one? I think my speed on using this keyboard versus using a regular keyboard is probably about the same. My typing speed on the Ergodox is better, but my programming speed on the Ergodox is way worse. So if I were to... Oh, I do need to get used to this, I guess. Also, wow, cords are all over my desk. Let me move this. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I can usually type a little bit faster on this keyboard as long as I'm not programming. But then I go to programming and everything just kind of grinds to a halt. Your name is crazy. One curly brace per minute. I know where curly brace is. I know where parentheses are and I know where brackets are. It's just kind of hard to hit them sometimes. Ergo box. The Ergo Fox. Hey, Neochromer. All right, next, we need to re-export this entire thing. So, Sprite Sheet Packer. We go into this, and I guess we just remove all of the changes that I made, because we're going to need to compress them too. Now we run this again. This is going to take a long time. And this is assuming I even did everything correctly. We're about halfway done, I think. There are probably 19 or 20 sprite sheets. Then it needs to write the data, which is almost instantaneous, and then compress them, which also takes some time, but not that long. 21, huh? More than I thought. Okay, this is definitely more than I thought. I guess multiplying weapon graphic sizes by 4 will do that. Or that I'm just counting... No, I don't know what's going on. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's always really good. It's worrisome when you make a computer and you turn it on for the first time. Okay, so we'll modify this in the cosmetics combiner. Yeah, we had 24 sprite sheets before, so I guess I just wasn't thinking about this. Output. So we just copy paste all of this over to here. And then we try running this. Now, weapons are going to be gigantic. Yeah. Which, that was to be expected. So now let's shrink them. And hopefully this is really, really simple. Hardware sprite scale 0.125. This will shrink them by half, which might not be enough. No. Why are they... How large are these? 577 by 313. 577 divided by 64. So we want these to be about 1/9. And I have it set to 1/8. So 1/9 is about 1111. That's still going to be too large though. Oh, now they just take up a tile size. Yeah, of course. Okay, so these are too large. Let's shrink them to 1/10 the size. I just want to figure out what size they look good at. This is more reasonable. This is what they used to be. They were taking up, how much of this would you say of a tile? It's like 60% of a tile maybe. So I guess they'd be shrunken by another 20%. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, this is about what we had it at originally. So now this connection point is wrong. I think I just multiplied by 4, and I think that was a mistake. I think what I should have done, we take a look at this. Open with paint.net. Oh, this isn't cut out. There's just some white portion that's still there. No. I need to re-export everything. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do that now, because that's pretty simple to change later. I just need to re-export the graphics. But what I am going to change is the coordinates that this thing spawns at. So we just got to figure out roughly this point. 296, 213. 296, 213. Yeah, well, as long as we're going to re-export this, I get it makes sense to just do it now. So fine. Is there any other graphic that looks like that? And how would we even figure that out? Like this we know is fine. We didn't go modify that. Oh, we could just load it in this. Okay, cool. This still looks kind of weirdly cut out to me. Fine, 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 not fine, 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 fine. Wait, are these... Oh, yeah, it's fine. Okay. Great. Okay, that's everything. So yeah, we just need to fix the laser graphic. Cutting / coloring will be made by the designers when artwork is approved. Oh, so this was already done by the designers. This one was just left out, I guess. So I can do this part myself, because this is just this one shape, which should be pretty easy. We just press U, and then click, and then delete. And that should be good. Yeah, nice. Okay. Hey, Pancake King. So let me export this again and re-upload all of this. I wonder what my performance of the computer looks like at this point. Because something's... I hear my computer fan. Something's struggling here. This is mostly just the CPU. Nope.png. Yeah, I like that. You use Windows because you're used to it? Is there any other reason not to use Linux? It seems to me like web dev is kind of more common on the Linux side. Yeah, I use it because I'm used to it, and because I don't think there's a big enough reason for me to switch. And sure, Pancake King. Or Base 58, if you prefer. Okay, cool. So we're good. CPU usage looks like cat ears, doesn't it? Kind of. Cartoon cat. Hey, Chris. Okay, so now when we copy paste all this stuff, we copy paste it from where though? Where's output? Here it is. So I copy paste output over to the client, and I copy paste it over to the cosmetics combiner. Got it. Okay, so let's try it out. So now this should look totally fine for lasers. Yeah, it does. So now whether there are lasers or missiles on this thing, I think it looks okay. And it should be for any of these torsos too. So if I just totally randomize bots. Oh, these don't have the right connection points set. Yeah, that's another thing we're gonna have to do. We should also possibly manifest a scale to set for these things, so that larger torsos can have larger weapons. Okay, yeah, I do kind of agree with you, Hideo. I think having these triggers here is kind of strange. I think if it was everything except for the handle, it would look great. Is your random button always per set? No, you can see what sets are being produced here. It's just picking a random everything. Yeah, detailed graphics shouldn't have those. What is that? LOL? That Pancake King? Oh, BRB? Okay. Figured it was... I saw that the first and the third were the same. Actually, I could figure it out. I know ASCII and I know binary. I just need to do the conversion in my head. Got 2 complete sets in a row. Did I? Oh, that was... Yeah, I guess it can happen, definitely. I guess the odds of that happening are pretty low, given how many different ones these are. Yeah, ASCII's great. Okay, well, going back to this, then we need to manifest all the coordinates for these. Yeah, so this stuff's done. We just need a good way for coming up with these. That is technically ASCII, but that's decimal encoded ASCII written in ASCII, which is not what I thought you were going to do. So what kind of UI would be best for coming up with these attachment points? I guess a UI where you just click would probably be best. Although really, I should have done that for all of this stuff. So how else could we do this? Okay, so most basic case could be I just add in a couple of fields here, and then whatever weapon is on this bot is what these fields would control. But then as the weapons change, you would have those coordinates get changed. That'd probably be frustrating. Also, let me try something. We have the hardware. Oh, wait. No, that's all we have. Uh-oh. Okay, so we... this isn't going to be great. We need to get sprite data. Let's test something out. So debug main dot spritesheet dictionary dot get sprite data of this should exist, and it should have JX and JY. Yes. So we just set this to something like 300. Or no, let's double it. No, that does work, I think. Right? Lasers are showing up there now. If we double it again, do they show up in a different spot? Why are they not changing? Oh, cool, they do. Ooh, so we can change these on the fly. We just need to also update where the weapon is rendering. It's going to be a little bit tough. Display existing point in red when you're in attachment point mode, and then click or move to place it. Yeah, I think clicking and moving stuff would definitely be the best. But I'm trying to come up with an even easier way to do this. We can get everything that starts with misc/hardware, right? And then list those in the UI somewhere. CSV plain text file. I mean, I could also just make an API to set all this stuff. I think that'd be frustrating. Yeah, I don't think this is a very important feature to work on. It'd be cool if this worked, but it's not really necessary. So we'll just manually pick all the coordinates for right now. Which means we need to open up all of these graphics. Oh, that's fun. Okay, well, let's work our way through this. So we want to open up all of these in Paint. Where did open with go? It's gone. Can't you just console.log the click origin related to the torso bound? So the thing that you're picking here is going to be the click origin with respect to the weapon graphic. And yeah, I suppose I could do that. Even that would make it much easier. Yeah, I just need to figure out which weapon graphic I want to. Anyway, I'm going to probably just do this manually for right now. I don't know if it's worth investing the time to do it a different way. Actually, probably all the missiles could just use the same coordinates. But let's say, where did I pick it for the original missiles? 291, 166. But this is the old graphic, huh? Where's the new one? 291, 166. So I picked it about there. What's this stupid pencil tool over here? 291, 166. Yeah, it's about there. Yeah, maybe it is worth not doing this manually. Because if I ever need to make updates to these things, it's going to be pretty annoying to do. Maybe we make some kind of weapon toggle system. And something like E changes which weapon is showing. And then don't forget the attachment points. Yeah, the attachment points. The attachment points, there's already UI for that. So if I show weapons and I modify this, you'll see it get changed immediately. So you can see I'm scrolling to I'm making numbers larger and they're moving to the side. So as you change this, I think this is just like how everything else works here. So you can position this exactly where you want it. And we say we want it somewhere like there. And yeah, and then it just changes between all the different weapons that you might want to see. And if that looks good, then cool, you hit the export button. Oh yeah, it'll take forever. But then we won't need to touch this stuff again. Okay, fine. We'll change this. We'll change it all. We'll get this so that clicking will show us the coordinates we clicked. Yeah. So right now we already have a tap handler in the arena. This gives us arena X and arena Y. Or just make it work for only the first spot. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Something along those lines. So this tap handler gets called into from something else though. Something in the camera, I think. See you, Chromium. So camera handlers. And this is passed into a Pixie component, which we don't have. Oh, man. Yeah, so nothing's going to call this. Oh, man. Yeah, we need to figure out a point relative to the arena. So we could add our own tap handler for this. Hammer time. I guess we have hammer time. So this will give us center X and center Y. And then we need to go from there to something. So let's just console.log both of these. Center X, center Y. You almost got it then, Jordan. There you go. So we click here, and we get 256, 258. We zoom out and we click there, and we get the same coordinates. Yeah, so we need to run these through all of the translation layers that I have. So we need to know where exactly the arena is rendering. Oh boy. Alright. I think camera probably has a function like that. Convert to world coordinates. More complicated than firstbot.torso.interactive and then on click. No. It's probably not more complicated than that. But you might be clicking a weapon graphic. Why you want to do the hammer to pixie translation? What I was thinking is when you're picking what you want for a weapon graphic, you wouldn't be tapping a bot for that necessarily. Maybe. Let me try something really fast. Page X, page Y. This is world X, world Y. Then we log this. Because I think I already kind of have this set up, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so now we have the world coordinates of this thing. Can't use Pixie for that and enable the interactive mode on the correct piece. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. And Shadow, thanks for following. You have the same first three numbers that I have in my name. Also, these coordinates that I pick here, like torso X 156, there's gonna have to be some translation that happens. Yeah, you're right, it's not botland. So when I say create all bots, the first bot that we create is going to be the one that we use for everything. Also, when do we, no, we don't ever modify that. Okay, yeah, so this dot first bot entity equals null, create bot. Okay, there we go. And then we'll also set these things on it. So what we need to do is get its primary display object, get component, render properties. No, we don't even need to do this. I don't have client entity util. Primary display object dot interactive equals true. Display object dot on click, and we'll put a breakpoint there. This is still not correct because we don't have this. I always thought that was not the case. That what was not the case? Can't resolve. think I'd probably turn off interactivity. Where's their examples? I was hoping that was it. There we go. Huh. Yeah, LeVay. Interactivity. Interactive in button mode. I don't need that necessarily. But there's pointer down. Pointer up. Why is this not working? Is it because these are tap events at this point? Use mouse only events? Well, there's touch start and mouse down. Figure out what this is. Touch start and mouse down. Gotta be one of those. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Also pointer down, but I had tried that too, right? I expect it to be one of these. I wonder if something is not letting the event even get to here. Perhaps because of the tap handler that I just added. Well, this doesn't say that the event's been handled. Yeah. Or that this isn't the first bot. Although I can't imagine why it wouldn't be. We could just always create one bot. And then it can only ever be that. Yep, there's just one. Well, this is set. And render properties has a primary display object. This container. Okay, well, let's take a look. Yeah, it has an on here that I could add. So what does this function do? Listener, this dot events. So let's take a look at its events. I should have 3 here. Seems like something's wrong here. Does any event work? Hey, I forgot better. I don't know. I've got to figure that out. Let me see if this thing even is getting hit. Try stage.hit area. Primary display object.on. Oh, this got it. So, what? Why is this different from this? Weird. I think something's undoing these. Or that there's a different display object. Here's what I'll do. Debug tools or automation techniques that I'm fond of. So I use Chrome for debugging a lot of things, and that's got a lot of nice tools in it. But automation techniques, I don't know if I have anything there that I could share that's general enough. I suppose if you can do something in a data-driven way, you probably should, because it's easier to write data than it is to write code. So, for example, if you have a system where you could draw a sprite on the screen, for example, like you say draw sprite name x y, it might be better for you to just say something like this eventually, like name test case number 1, sprites, and you just specify an array of data. So name something like bullet.png. To lessen the time finding, fixing, and testing bugs. I think when it comes to lessening the time finding bugs, a lot of the times you just need to figure out what assumptions you're making. That's where rubber duck debugging can come in handy. You just ask yourself, what do I expect? What assumptions would need to fail for this thing to show itself, the bug to show itself? What's this icon on your name? Did you subscribe and not have it advertise it? Huh. Well, there's your welcome. Thanks for subbing. Good idea, Co. Techniques for team production. I'm not sure what you mean by team production. But I think just writing tests will really help you find bugs. Have you looked into code coverage? Good idea, Co. Because that's another thing that can help. You can figure out exactly how many lines of code you've tested in your application. Because really, I think you're never truly done testing. It's more about when am I comfortable moving on to something else. And you are the one who determines your priorities with tests. So things like performance, security, usability, accessibility. And then when it comes to test metrics, you've got things like scenario coverage, code coverage. And even then, these metrics can sort of lie to you. You can have 100% code coverage and not really be testing things in the right way. So just, yeah, you got to be careful about a lot of these things. And the thing I'm trying to figure out here is this primary display object. If we just say A equals primary display object, and then we go, is this equal to A? No, it's not. So something happened here where there's a dip. Oh, I know why. Oh, I know why. Oh, darn it. It's because every time we change the colors, we end up destroying the primary display object. That sucks. That definitely sucks. God. It's going to be annoying. So every time we make the primary display object, we need to do this. And then this will work. I never would have guessed that. Yeah, so let's take a look. Well, it's still not working, but who really cares at this point? We have events for this stuff. I don't know. I don't know, and it doesn't matter, because we're not going to mess around with that. I guess I could leave this here. Try to stage that hit area. I didn't, no. That arena's undefined. Oh, yeah. No, I don't think this is doing anything. wonder if I need to set this thing on here too. I mean, I need to look through their code to figure out what's happening. Oh, that finally works. Oh, interesting. So this was for pointer down. There's an event. And thank you, Hideo. There's data. Where's the X and Y? Target. X and Y is 0. Current target. This tells me what I clicked. Does it tell me where I clicked? Global is a point. 161, 216. Is there a local point as well? I don't really know where I clicked, so it's going to be kind of hard to tell. Let's try clicking. Uh-oh. Oh, I need to set the hit area to a rectangle that's just big enough for this. Probably a better way to do this. So if I click this right here, does that break in? No, it doesn't even break in. Huh. Do I also need this? No, what? This just has to be much larger than... I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this. This seems a bit annoying. Clicking this isn't working now either. Pass display object, you want the local coordinates of? This is really frustrating. Let's see where get local position is. Ah, it's in the data itself. I wonder what this calls. World transform.apply inverse. Huh, interesting. So I should be able to do this the other way around and get rid of all of this and go into the tap handler. And then in here we could just say there are 2 points here though. A point in which to store the value, optional. Otherwise we'll create a new point. And the point containing your custom global coordinates. So the custom global coordinates would be world X, world Y. Does this work? Four 12, 416. So if I click right here, we get 104.18. What, because this thing is supposed to be gigantic or something? Oh, actually, we could figure this out by comparing these coordinates, right? The torso connects to the head. No, that's not going to help. 144, 208. I don't even know what that is. Well, the Y coordinate was kind of correct. Then this. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Maybe that'll work. I need to change a bunch of other things here though. it to be... How do I think about this? Like this Arenax of 137. This is where to position this wheel, I believe. So I just clicked 137-ish. Yeah, I did. So Galactic Flash, my database is local when I'm testing locally, and it's on AWS for production. And when it's on AWS, I access it through, an AWS machine. And when it's locally, I just access it by connecting directly on my machine. Did I fix the problem? No, not yet. There are a bunch of problems. So even if I fix this, I'm going to need to fix 4 or 5 other ones afterward. Ah, there's the notification. And yeah, thanks, good idea, Co. I will type my welcome message again. Oh, it broke. I can't press it. All right. Hey, Ramy. Yeah, so thanks for subbing, good idea, Co. I'm glad it didn't cost you any extra money. So what I'm trying to think of is, even if I have a click handler for this stuff, what I would probably need to do is figure out which one of these last had the input and then sort of stuff the coordinates back into there. Or maybe only if you hold control or something. I don't know if I did, Ramy. I haven't really been checking my email too much lately. Yeah, it's going to show up no matter what. So now we'll log what this point is. I don't really know if there's a purpose to this though. 114, 132. No, this won't help. Oh man, I don't know. What's the problem? Oh, there's just a bunch of problems. Coordinates, UI. So originally I just wanted to get the connection points of weapons. So one way to do this is to open up the graphic and just figure out, oh, here's where I want this to be. What is this point? And you look at it and you write down the numbers. But then I thought this tool should probably help with that. And I'm just not sure how I'm going to do this. I think the best way would probably be having something like this, where you have an image somewhere of just the weapon. So this is a picture of the weapon graphic, and you have a picture of your bot somewhere as well. So this is bot with weapon. And then as you drag the mouse around here, so let's say you end up at this point, this becomes the anchor point for the weapon, and it shows you a position such that it gets anchored to wherever your bot is. So that way you can just kind of drag different points on this weapon, so it's as though you're looking at just this image. And if you're like, I wonder what it would look like anchored over here, then you just click this point and it gets anchored directly to where it should be. But I'd have to write a lot of different UI for that, and I don't really want to do that. So I think Sure, Pancake King. Yeah, what if we just hit all the UI and did that instead? We had like a pick weapon coordinates thing. Still wondering how you can't get the XY relative to the torso, for example, using Pixie and multiply that by the scale of the arena. Because I don't, like, I could do that. I don't think the UI would make sense for that, though. If I click here for, so, yeah, I see what you're suggesting. You're suggesting it for getting the bot attachment point. I have, yeah, that's half the problem, I guess. I'm only thinking of the problem where you want to get the weapon attachment point. Yeah, for getting the bot attachment point, I don't think this would be that bad. What is this set to? Yeah. Doesn't need to be relative to this torso. So when I click here and I get 262, 294. 262. So this would be 164. And then 294 minus 180. Yeah, we could just subtract those. Working on XML serialization. It wasn't going as smoothly as I was hoping. Oh no, Raimi. Is there any way you can just hit Control Z in your editor a bunch of times? Ain't no pointer. Line's going okay. Not too bad. Yeah, well, okay, as far as getting the torso attach point, I could have this work. I could say something like, we get the leg X and leg Y. Bot attach X equals P dot X minus leg X. And same thing here. And then we just store these into HWJX and HWJY. And there, that'd be that. So now when we click, we're going to be changing the attach point. Well, it did update this, but I don't know why it's not taking effect. Oh, right, because I have to call change coordinates after that. Whoops. Yeah, so this will work for picking the weapon location. So we press W and we click somewhere on here. No, not yet. Why am I still doing this wrong? Oh, because I need to set these things. I need to set two things, that's right. There. Now we'll see it work. Yeah, I guess. I don't think that's exactly correct. these set to by default? Just nothing. And when they're null, we take half of the width and half of the height. So what is half of the width and half of the height on there? This is 238 by 196. Well, so it would look weird due to the weapon attachment coordinates as well, except for that I wanted to just get this thing working. So 119, 98. This is the attachment point by default. So if I were to click right, wait for it, right here, I get 152, 176. So these somehow need to convert into those coordinates. And this to 98 or 90, yeah, 98. And what are the other coordinates that I have here? And what I get instead? Because of those attachment points. Yeah, I could just add. Hey, Dibs. So which is the, oh, I just subtracted the wrong coordinates, I think. 98 is 208. Yeah, I should have subtracted these things. The, wait, headpiece. No, what am I doing? I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm done for today. I'm not making much progress, and I should probably take a look at this off stream. And I gotta get lunch anyway. Some days are just like this. I think I'll end up streaming tomorrow for just Hearthstone for a bit. But that's it for today. So let's go host somebody. Yeah, done for the entire day. Like I said, I just think this is one of those days where if I'm just messing around with coordinates and trying to figure things out, that I'd rather just, oh, not sub. I'd rather just kind of play some music or something and figure this out. I think this is always the precursor to my vacations. Anyway, thank you guys for watching so far. I'm sorry for just ending the stream now. I'll try to make it so that Friday when I come back to development streaming that it's not like this. So yeah, take care, have a good day, and see you guys.